In this video, we will learn how we can create a project and open the examples that will be used during our lab session. So I already have here our course Canvas page open, and I will open PyCharm Community Edition. So PyCharm now will open with the project that we created in our previous video called Programming Assignments. So what we need to do is to keep a separation between the programming assignment files and the example files used during our lab sessions. We will create a new project. We will do that by going to the File menu and selecting New Project. So we will see a very similar interface as we saw while creating the previous project. In the project name, I will name it as lab-examples. And we will also expand the project interpreter and make sure to select an existing interpreter that is called EEN065, so the same one we used for programming assignments. Then we can select and we can click in Create. PyCharm gives us the option to create this new project in the same window or in a new window. I will select a new window to make it easier to differentiate one project from the other. So now if we look at our taskbar, we have our programming assignment project and we have our lab examples. So if you want, and if you are not working with your project assignments, you can just close the project assignments project and we will leave only the lab examples open. Let us now go back to our Canvas page and go to modules. So for every lab that we will have available some examples that will be explored and explained during our lab. And these examples will always be available in the computer classes section of our Canvas page. So you can click in these examples lab 1, and this will give you the direct link to this IPyNB file. So now we should select not the programming assignment project, so we should go back one folder and then we should double click in the lab examples. Now that we have the correct folder selected, we can click in Save, and similar to what we saw before, if we go back to our lab examples project and expand the file tree, we will see that we have this IPyNB file already saved there. To open IPyNB files, we should always keep in mind that we need JupyterLab. We should not open it using PyCharm. To launch JupyterLab, we should go to the Terminal tab, and in the terminal, when we click, we should see always EEN065 between parentheses here to make sure that we are using the correct environment. Then all we need to do is to type Jupyter space lab, and this will open a new tab in the Chrome browser. As you can see here, we have already lab1 examples files that we can double click and it will open the things to us. Whenever we open a file, we should always come to the View menu and enable Show Line Numbers. This will facilitate a lot during the explanations because we can refer directly to specific lines of your code. Now we are ready to participate in the lab and reproduce the same examples. To run one cell, what you need to do is to hold Ctrl and type Enter. So when you hold Ctrl and type Enter, or when you select a cell and click in Play, what we can see is that this cell that is selected is executed. Another very important thing is that we can right-click in any part of this file and we can select Open Variable Inspector. So this will open a new tab that we can then drag to the side of our screen and also resize it as we want. Also, we can resize the File Explorer part or even hide it by clicking in the folder icon. So what we have is, now we have this area to your left, that is the area where we have the IPyNB file, and to the right part we have the list of variables with their types, their sizes, their shape, and also their content. So this variable inspector helps us to make sure that we know exactly what are the variables, their types, and also their content. So they allow us to have a much better idea of our code. Now that you have executed this in your computer, you are ready to attend our lab session. See you there.